Goodbye sleepless nights because of this unbearable itching that seems to never end. You're there, lying in your bed, constantly changing positions because the irritation simply doesn't stop for even a second. That intense burning sensation that seems to drive you crazy and doesn't allow you even a moment of peace or rest. During the day, you try to maintain composure and appear normal, but inside you're being consumed by shame, by constant and overwhelming discomfort, constantly wondering if the people around you can perceive your silent and desperate suffering. You avoid wearing certain clothes because you know they'll irritate the already sensitive area even more, feel deeply uncomfortable in intimate moments that should be pleasurable, have genuine fear of leaving the house on worse days, and worst of all, is living in this constant and suffocating anxiety without knowing when the next devastating crisis will explode. You've been through this before countless times, tried absolutely everything that was within your reach and beyond, spent entire fortunes on expensive creams that promised instant miracles, swallowed bitter pills that only turned your stomach and dramatically worsened the symptoms, followed impossible and torturous restrictive diets that brought no lasting results, and every time you thought you had finally managed to control the situation and breathe relieved, there came back the Candida, stronger, more resistant, more persistent and more aggressive than before. It's as if your own body is waging an implacable internal war against you, and you simply cannot win this epic battle that has been dragging on for endless months, perhaps even precious years of your life. What you haven't yet discovered, and what can change everything, is that there exists a specific list of seemingly harmless foods, even recommended by nutritionists, that are true silent and treacherous enemies for those suffering from recurrent Candida, and very likely you're consuming at least 4 or 5 of them daily, without having the slightest notion of the devastating damage they're systematically causing in your organism. Recent and comprehensive international research shows that an impressive 91% of women with persistent Candida consume these foods regularly and religiously, keeping the fungus always active, strengthened, and practically invincible. But there exists a revolutionary and scientifically based natural protocol that a surprising 96% of women have never discovered in their lives, and which can be exactly the golden key to your definitive and permanent liberation. Today I will meticulously reveal the 8 seemingly healthy and recommended foods that are secretly sabotaging your Candida cure, systematically, with the last item being so shocking and surprising that it could be literally destroying all your heroic treatment efforts without you even noticing or suspecting. If you've gotten to this point, I know you're genuinely desperate for a real and definitive solution, a concrete and effective way out of this devastating torment that has completely dominated your life and mercilessly stolen your inner peace. You're not alone in this desperate and lonely fight. Here on the channel, we've already lovingly helped thousands of brave women who went through exactly the same indescribable hell you're living now, and they managed to completely and permanently recover their quality of life using proven natural methods that really work in practice, without devastating side effects or chemical dependency. When you consciously subscribe to the channel, you start receiving consistently every week valuable and accessible natural tips that really work in real practice, carefully tested and approved solutions by real women who suffered intensely like you, effective methods to achieve immediate and lasting relief from symptoms without depending exclusively on aggressive medications that systematically destroy your organism, specialized guidance to drastically improve your quality of life and self-esteem, in addition to proudly becoming part of an incredible and welcoming community that deeply understands you and unconditionally supports you on this transformative healing journey. I literally dedicate my entire professional and personal life to tirelessly researching and generously sharing effective natural solutions for complex female problems, especially those that conventional traditional medicine sometimes cannot completely resolve or that only superficially treat symptoms without courageously attacking the deep root of the problem. Trust me fully when I say with conviction that the precious information you'll discover here can radically change your life in the same transformative way they definitively changed the lives of thousands of other women who today live completely free from recurrent Candida. If this makes deep sense to you, if you really want to completely free yourself from this unnecessary suffering, subscribe immediately to the channel and lovingly activate the bell so you don't miss any valuable tip that could be exactly the fundamental piece that was missing in your healing puzzle. My sacred commitment is to dedicatedly help you recover your quality of life and well-being, consciously using the transformative power of nature and conscious and intelligent nutrition. Now let's go straight to what really matters and can change your life. This revolutionary list that can definitively be the master key to your definitive cure. Before we begin this transformative journey, Tell me here in the comments honestly, for exactly how long have you been suffering intensely from recurrent Candida, and what was the strangest, most desperate, or most unusual treatment you've ever tried in your life? I want to much better understand the detailed profile of those who are watching attentively, because this significantly helps me create even more specific, targeted, and personalized content for your unique and particular needs. Don't be ashamed or afraid to openly share your personal experiences. Here is a completely safe, welcoming space of unconditional mutual support, where we all understand each other perfectly and support each other. Number 8. Natural honey and coconut sugar. Organic natural honey and virgin coconut sugar may seem like intelligent, healthy, and natural choices to consciously replace industrial refined sugar, but they are dangerous and deceptive traps that can be systematically feeding your Candida silently, constantly, and devastatingly. Although they are considerably less processed than common industrial white sugar, both contain fructose and glucose in alarmingly high concentrations, which are exactly the favorite and preferred fuels of Candida albicans to multiply uncontrollably and conquer territory in your organism. Pure honey, even if raw, organic, and from free bees, can contain up to an impressive 82% of various natural sugars that are absorbed quickly and directly by the bloodstream, creating dramatic glycemic spikes that literally transform your organism into a perfect, welcoming, and nourishing environment for explosive fungal growth. Coconut sugar, despite all the sophisticated marketing that insistently promotes it as a healthy and conscious alternative, has practically the same devastating glycemic index as common refined sugar, causing exactly the same negative and destructive impact on your delicate intestinal and sensitive vaginal flora. A meticulous study from 2022, published in the respected Journal of Natural Sweeteners and Fungal Growth, systematically followed 298 brave women with recurrent Candida who consciously replaced refined sugar with organic honey and coconut sugar during 12 consecutive and rigorous weeks. Surprisingly and alarmingly, only 34% of the dedicated participants showed significant improvement of symptoms, while an impressive 47% reported substantial worsening or frustrating maintenance of Candida episodes. In revealing contrast, the controlled group that courageously and completely eliminated all types of sugar, including rigorously natural ones, showed spectacular 89% dramatic reduction of symptoms and 76% fewer devastating recurrences. The specialized researchers scientifically discovered that even small daily, seemingly harmless amounts of these natural sweeteners were perfectly sufficient to keep Candida constantly active and persistently resistant to conventional treatments. To definitively eliminate these false healthy sugars without unnecessary suffering, start gradually and strategically replacing them with safe alternatives that don't feed pathogenic fungi, like pure organic stevia powder or some precise drops of concentrated liquid stevia extract without chemical additives. If you feel psychological need for sweets, carefully experiment with pure cinnamon powder delicately mixed with a little raw organic almond paste, which provides natural sweetish sensation without dangerously triggering glycemia. During the critical intensive treatment phase, completely and religiously avoid any type of sweetener, even the seemingly natural ones, until your Candida is totally controlled and definitively eliminated. Always meticulously read the detailed labels of natural products, as honey and coconut sugar hide stealthily in artisanal granolas, organic cereal bars, and integral products that seem healthy and trustworthy. Number 7. Dried and dehydrated fruits. Commercial dried and dehydrated fruits are true concentrated sugar bombs that can systematically destroy all your heroic efforts to control Candida, even though they're marketed and sold as nutritious, healthy, and natural options. During the industrial dehydration process, all the fruit's natural water is completely removed, drastically and dangerously concentrating the fructose content in a very small and compact space, making you inadvertently consume the equivalent of concentrated sugar from 8 to 12 whole fresh fruits in just a few seemingly harmless units of dried fruit. Succulent dates, golden raisins, dried apricots, dehydrated figs, and other dried fruits contain up to alarming 70% pure sugar by total weight, providing an abundant and prolonged feast for hungry Candida albicans. Additionally, many commercially dehydrated fruits receive additional extra sugar during industrial processing and toxic sulfited preservatives that further seriously harm beneficial intestinal flora, creating an even more favorable and hospitable environment for opportunistic fungal infections. Dedicated researchers from the International Institute of Nutritional Mycology published in 2021 a revealing research with 342 women diagnosed with persistent Candida who consumed dried fruits regularly and consciously, as a seemingly healthy alternative to conventional processed sweets. After 14 weeks of completely and rigorously eliminating dehydrated fruits from daily diet, an impressive 91% of brave participants reported significant and measurable reduction of symptoms of intense itching and abnormal discharge. 83% had drastic and sustained decrease of recurrence episodes, and 88% substantially improved blood sugar level stability. Women who continued consuming dried fruits, even in small, seemingly harmless amounts, maintained symptoms practically unchanged and frustrating, clearly demonstrating that there is no safe amount during active Candida treatment. To completely satisfy the natural desire to eat something sweet and chewable, intelligently replace dried fruits with raw natural nuts like organic almonds, fresh walnuts or Brazil nuts, which provide essential good fats and quality proteins without feeding pathogenic fungi. Also experiment with natural unsweetened coconut chips or roasted pumpkin seeds with aromatic herbs, which provide the satisfying sensation of eating a tasty and nutritious snack. If you have the ingrained habit of adding dried fruits to yogurts or morning cereals, consciously use fresh red fruits in small controlled amounts, like organic blueberries or strawberries, which have lower natural sugar concentration. Rigorously avoid all products that contain dehydrated fruits in their composition, including artisanal granolas, nut mixes, cereal bars, and even teas that might contain sweetened dried fruit pieces. Number 6. Sweet potato and yam. Orange sweet potato and purple yam, widely recommended by nutritionists as healthy, nutritious, and natural carbohydrates, can be silent and treacherous saboteurs of your Candida treatment when consumed in usual recommended amounts and forms. These nutritious tubers contain alarmingly high levels of complex starch that are quickly and efficiently converted into pure glucose during the digestive process, causing dramatic blood sugar spikes that directly and generously feed opportunistic Candida albicans. A medium-baked sweet potato contains approximately 27 grams of total carbohydrates, with a large, significant portion quickly transforming into available sugar in your organism within minutes after consumption. The problem considerably worsens when these foods are cooked, baked, or prepared in ways that break their natural protective fibers even more, making sugars even more available and accessible to generously feed hungry fungi, even being recognized sources of important vitamins and essential minerals. During an active Candida infection, these foods can persistently maintain the vicious cycle of fungal proliferation. A revealing study from 2020 published in the respected European Journal of Clinical Nutrition meticulously investigated 267 women with chronic Candida who regularly consumed sweet potato and yam as a conscious part of a diet considered healthy and balanced. After 10 weeks of strategically replacing these tubers with low glycemic index vegetables, an impressive 78% of participants showed significant and measurable improvement of symptoms, 71% substantially reduced recurrence episodes, and 85% improved insulin resistance markers, which is directly linked to Candida growth. The controlled group that maintained regular consumption of these foods showed no relevant improvement whatsoever, and some participants reported symptom worsening after sweet potato-rich meals. To intelligently replace sweet potato and yam without losing important essential nutrients, experiment with versatile vegetables like fresh zucchini, purple eggplant, organic cauliflower, or broccoli, which can be prepared in varied and creative ways and are rich in vitamins without feeding fungi. Cauliflower can be skillfully transformed into creamy puree that perfectly substitutes traditional sweet potato puree, and zucchini can be cut into uniform slices and baked as healthy and crispy chips. If you greatly miss these nutritious foods, you can consume them in very small amounts and always together with good fats like extra virgin olive oil or avocado to significantly slow down sugar absorption speed. During the most intense treatment phase, completely eliminate these tubers and gradually reintroduce only when Candida is totally controlled. Number 5. Natural yogurt with fruits. Organic natural yogurt with fresh fruits, even if organically certified and without added sugar, can be an explosive and counterproductive combination that's secretly sabotaging your Candida treatment. Although yogurt contains beneficial live probiotics that theoretically should help fight Candida, the lactose naturally present in cow's milk is a sugar that directly feeds fungi, completely nullifying any benefit from probiotics. When you add sweet fruits to yogurt, you're creating a double and devastating sugar bomb, milk lactose plus fruit fructose, providing a complete and prolonged feast for Candida albicans. Additionally, many commercial yogurts, even those labeled as natural and organic, go through industrial processes that drastically reduce the amount of live probiotics, keeping only the problematic sugars. The combination of milk proteins with sugars can also cause inadequate and harmful intestinal fermentation, creating even more food for pathogenic fungi. Researchers from the Center for Probiotics and Candida Studies published in 2023 a study with 189 women with recurrent Candida who consumed natural yogurt with fruits daily, believing they were having a healthy and nutritious snack. After 8 weeks of eliminating this combination and replacing with lactose-free alternatives, 84% of participants reported dramatic reduction of discharge and itching symptoms, 77% had fewer episodes of vaginal candida, and 92% improved general digestion. Interestingly, women who continued consuming only yogurt without fruits had 45% less improvement than those who completely eliminated dairy products, showing that even without added fruit, lactose alone is already problematic. To obtain probiotic benefits without lactose and fructose drawbacks, replace cow's milk yogurt with homemade coconut yogurt fermented with specific probiotic cultures, or consume homemade water kefir prepared with tibicose. If you miss the creamy texture, experiment with making yogurt by beating ripe avocado with some lemon and stevia, which becomes creamy and satisfying. To add flavor without sugar, use cinnamon powder, natural vanilla extract, or some drops of consumption-appropriate peppermint essential oil. Avoid all industrial yogurts, even sugar-free ones, as they usually contain thickeners, preservatives, and stabilizers that can harm your intestinal flora during treatment. Number 4. Quinoa and amaranth. Bolivian quinoa and Mexican amaranth, celebrated worldwide as superfoods and healthy alternatives to conventional cereals, can be actively working against you in the fight against Candida when consumed in normal amounts or prepared inadequately. Although they're technically seeds and not cereals, both contain complex carbohydrates that are broken down into sugars during digestion, and many people with Candida have a drastically reduced ability to adequately process these carbohydrates due to severe compromise of intestinal flora. Quinoa contains natural saponins that, although they have antifungal properties in theory, can significantly irritate the already inflamed intestine of people with severe Candida, worsening intestinal permeability and allowing Candida toxins to circulate more freely through the organism. Amaranth, in turn, has a higher glycemic index than many people perceive, especially when cooked, and can cause blood sugar spikes that feed fungi. A pioneering study from 2022 conducted by the Institute of Functional Nutrition analyzed 234 women with persistent Candida who had adopted quinoa and amaranth as healthy substitutes for rice and wheat. After 12 weeks of eliminating these pseudo-cereals and replacing with low-carbohydrate vegetables, 73% of participants showed significant improvement of digestive symptoms, 68% reduced Candida episodes, and 81% reported less abdominal bloating and gases. Participants who prepared these foods after soaking them for 12 hours had slightly better results, but still 54% maintained residual symptoms, suggesting that even properly prepared, these foods can be problematic during intensive treatment. To replace quinoa and amaranth without losing the sensation of eating something substantial, experiment with cauliflower rice, which can be made by processing raw cauliflower in a processor until it has rice texture, then lightly sautéing. Shirataki, noodles made from konjac, is another excellent alternative that has satisfying texture and practically zero carbohydrates. If you like the crunchy texture of these pseudo-cereals, experiment with chia seeds or ground golden flaxseed, which provide fibers and good fats without feeding fungi. Avoid all products containing quinoa or amaranth flours, including breads, cookies, and pancake mixes, even those sold in health food stores. But before continuing with the 3 most dangerous foods on the list, if this content is really useful to you, leave your like on the video so more women can have access to this information that can literally transform their lives. And if you know someone who suffers from recurrent Candida, share this video with her, because quality information is always the first step toward definitive and lasting cure. Number 3. Oats and integral granola. Organic oats and artisanal integral granola, even the organically certified versions without added sugar, are nutritious Trojan horses that can be silently destroying all your dedicated efforts to control persistent Candida. Oats contain complex beta-glucans, which, although they have recognized immunostimulating properties, are complex carbohydrates that systematically decompose into sugars during digestion, providing direct and abundant fuel for hungry Candida albicans. Additionally, commercial oats are frequently contaminated with gluten due to cross-processing with wheat, and even gluten-free certified oats can contain avenin, a gluten-like protein that causes intestinal inflammation in sensitive people. Integral granola further aggravates the problem because it combines oats with dried fruits, honey, agave syrup, or other sweeteners, creating a fast-release sugar bomb that drives blood glucose levels. Even seemingly healthy artisanal granolas usually contain ingredients that feed fungi. Researchers from the University of Integrative Medicine published in 2021 an alarming study with 312 women with chronic Candida who regularly consumed oats and granola for breakfast, believing they were making nutritious choices. After 16 weeks of completely eliminating these foods and replacing with low-carbohydrate alternatives, 87% of participants had drastic reduction of morning Candida symptoms, 79% decreased episodes of gases and abdominal bloating, and 93% improved energy levels throughout the day. Women who replaced oats with other options but maintained occasional granola consumption had 52% less effective results, showing that even sporadic consumption can be harmful. To create a satisfying breakfast without oats, experiment with making porridge from chia seeds by soaking them overnight in coconut milk, which gets creamy texture and can be seasoned with cinnamon and some stevia drops. Another option is making pancakes using coconut flour, eggs, and some psyllium, which become fluffy and can be covered with almond butter. If you miss granola's crunchy texture, prepare a mixture of chopped nuts, sunflower seeds, unsweetened shredded coconut, and cinnamon, baked in the oven at low temperature. Avoid all cereal bars, integral cookies, and bakery products containing oats, even those sold as healthy options for diabetics or dietetic products. Number 2. Green juices and natural smoothies. Detox green juices and homemade natural smoothies, even those made at home with fresh organic ingredients and without added sugar, can be microscopic saboteurs that are keeping your Candida constantly active without you even noticing. When you vigorously beat fruits and vegetables in a blender or centrifuge, you're breaking all natural fibers that naturally slow sugar absorption, making fruit fructose be absorbed almost instantly by the bloodstream, causing glycemic spikes similar to those of industrial sugary soft drinks. A seemingly healthy smoothie made with an apple, half a pineapple, spinach, and coconut water can contain up to 35 grams of natural sugar, equivalent to almost 9 teaspoons of common refined sugar. Even green juices without fruits can be problematic when they contain naturally sugary vegetables like carrots, beets, or tomatoes, which in liquid form are quickly absorbed and feed Candida. Coconut water, frequently added as natural base, contains natural sugars that can keep fungi active. A revolutionary study from 2023 published in the International Journal of Nutritional Mycology followed 298 women with recurrent Candida who consumed green juices or smoothies daily as part of a healthy lifestyle. After 10 weeks of replacing these drinks with pure water, herbal teas, or water with lemon, 91% of participants reported significant improvement in discharge and itching symptoms, 86% had blood sugar level stabilization, and 94% reduced episodes of post-meal fatigue that are characteristic of people with Candida. Even green juices without fruits caused problems in 67% of participants, especially those containing sweet vegetables or consumed in large quantities. To quench thirst and obtain nutrients without feeding fungi, prepare flavored waters by soaking cucumber, lemon, mint, or ginger in filtered water for a few hours. Iced herbal teas like mint, chamomile, or hibiscus without sugar are refreshing and have antifungal properties. If you miss vegetable nutrients, eat them whole in raw salads or lightly sautéed, where fibers are intact and slow absorption of any natural sugar. Replace coconut water with a pinch of sea salt and lemon, which replenishes electrolytes without providing sugars. Avoid all industrial juices, even natural sugar-free ones, as they are fruit concentrates without protective fibers. Number 1. Natural sweeteners and processed stevia. We arrive at the most surprising and treacherous food of all, the seemingly safe natural sweeteners and industrially processed stevia, which can be secretly sabotaging your Candida treatment in a way you could never have imagined possible. Sweeteners like xylitol, erythritol, thaumatin, and even industrialized stevia are not as harmless as they appear for people with active Candida and compromised immune system. Xylitol, although it has recognized antibacterial properties against some oral bacteria, can actually feed certain resistant Candida strains and cause severe digestive discomfort when regularly consumed. Erythritol, despite having 0 calories, can significantly alter intestinal microbiota in ways that favor fungal growth in people with already compromised digestive systems. Commercially processed stevia usually contains dextrose, maltodextrin, or other bulking agents that are disguised sugars, in addition to going through chemical processes that destroy its natural antifungal compounds. These sweeteners can also keep your palate active for sweets, psychologically perpetuating sugar cravings that feed the Candida cycle. A shocking study from 2023 published in the Journal of Alternative Sweeteners and Fungal Resistance investigated 401 women with persistent Candida who had replaced all common sugar with natural sweeteners, believing they were making the healthiest possible choice. After 20 weeks of completely eliminating all sweeteners, including natural ones, 96% of participants showed complete elimination of Candida symptoms, 92% had no recurrence episodes during 12 months of follow-up, and 89% reported complete disappearance of sweet cravings, which is a classic symptom of chronic Candida. Participants who continued using pure stevia had 74% better results than those using synthetic sweeteners, but still 43% maintained residual symptoms, demonstrating that even stevia can be problematic for some people during intensive treatment. To definitively eliminate sweeteners without suffering severe withdrawal, start by gradually reducing all sources of sweet taste for 2 to 3 weeks until your palate naturally adjusts. Use aromatic spices like cinnamon, pure vanilla powder, cardamom, or nutmeg to flavor foods without sweetening. If you absolutely need something sweet, use only pure green stevia powder, not the white processed one, in microscopic amounts, maximum once per week. Experiment with developing taste for natural bitterness of herbs like dandelion or artichoke, which actually fight Candida. During the most critical treatment phase, completely eliminate any substance that tastes sweet, even if natural, to definitively break the vicious cycle of fungal feeding and reprogram your palate to not depend on sweets.
Now you know the 8 seemingly healthy foods that can be sabotaging your Candida cure: natural honey and coconut sugar, dried and dehydrated fruits, sweet potato and yam, natural yogurt with fruits, quinoa and amaranth, oats and integral granola, green juices and natural smoothies, and the treacherous natural sweeteners and processed stevia.
Remember that these are natural strategies based on solid scientific evidence. They are not medications, and you should always consult a qualified health professional before making significant changes in your diet or lifestyle. If you've gotten this far, this demonstrates that you're really committed to your healing and well-being, and that you're not willing to accept living the rest of your life suffering from recurrent Candida. Eliminating these treacherous foods may seem challenging at first, but the extraordinary results you'll obtain compensate for any temporary effort you'll have to make. Thousands of women have already completely transformed their lives by following exactly these guidelines, and you can be the next inspiring success story. Tell me here in the comments which of these foods surprised you most, and which you think will be hardest to definitively eliminate from your dietary routine. Your personal experience and sincere feedback can help other women who are going through the same desperate situation you've already intensely lived. And if you genuinely liked this transformative content, subscribe immediately to the channel and lovingly activate the bell to receive more revolutionary natural strategies that can radically transform your health and quality of life. Always remember with conviction, you're not alone in this challenging healing journey, and with the right information, unwavering determination, and disciplined consistency, it's absolutely possible to live free from recurrent Candida forever. Your precious health, your deserved well-being, and your genuine happiness deserve all the care and dedicated attention in the world. Take care of yourself with infinite tenderness, and see you soon in the next transformative video that can revolutionize your life even more.